Yes, the great buys for March continue with yet another HMV pickup. Now, this one happened to be an HMV we had not been to before, and in fact, it would be one that we'll never hit up again because it's in a location that we generally only go to about once a year. So, we weren't going to go in there, but seeing as how I was driving, yeah. Somehow the car just sort of went that way. But yeah, so this was one, it was only at 40% off currently. It wasn't up to 50% off yet, which kind of sucked, but it also meant that there was a potential of titles that we had not, seen before, perhaps. Maybe it hadn't been picked over just yet, because usually when it hits 50% off, then there's really, if you're not there on the first day, everything's gone. And I will say that this particular location, I was quite impressed with the way they had things set up. It was very easy to find things. Everything was well put on the shelves and in order. It was quite a large store, actually. Yes, it had been... a lot of it had already been purchased, but I did manage to find quite a few titles that I had not seen anywhere else. And in fact, there was one title I'd never seen anywhere else, which we'll get to probably last. I think I will put it last just because. But yeah, so we'll start off with whatever. They had a few Scooby-Doo titles which I had not already picked up. This was volume 2 from A Pup Named Scooby-Doo. I don't have any of the A Pup Named Scooby-Doo. Actually, I haven't seen any of it either. Go figure. But this is 4 episodes, and I will have to check and see how they're releasing that. Obviously, there's a volume 1. But who knows. I also picked up Scooby-Doo 13 Spooky Tales Robot. So this has got 13 particular episodes here. I believe it's French, English, French, and Spanish languages. So that's pretty cool. Then I also picked up another 13 Scooby-Doo 13 Spooky Tales. This is Run for Your Rife. So yeah, I don't know if I have all of those yet, but I have quite a few. Then one, because I saw it and I was like, you know what? I've got to get this. Beast of the Bering Sea. And yeah, it's the wording right under it, outside of the cover. The cover is awesome here, but it's the wording right under the title that really sells you on this. Damn Sea Vampires. Never heard of this. This is a Sony release. I don't believe, I checked and I couldn't see a Blu-ray release for this, so had to pick that one up. And of course, 2 for $20 at the 40% off is, under $10, so had to get that. And then I picked up, didn't know if I had this already, but I had to, for that price, I had to pick this up, Lake Placid 2, just to make sure. And then we're getting into the titles which, hadn't seen anywhere else. First up, starting at $20, which is a good price. I probably would have bought it at $20 anyways, but 40% off that, we've got Basket Case 2. Yeah, a Synapse release. Hello. Awesome. So stoked to get that. And considering this one was more expensive, I'm quite surprised. At $30, thankfully I get 40% off that, Session 9. This is a Scream Factory release, but yeah. Hello, which one would you rather? Yeah. Synapse over Scream Factory any day of the week in my books. And then this one was $37 regularly, which gives you an idea of which studio release the studio I'm talking about here. There are only a couple up at the top end, and this one is one of them. This is the special edition DVD Blu-ray combo for Mark of the Devil from Arrow. Yes. Arrow Video. And then a film, I haven't even actually seen this release in the wild before. And this is, I believe, an Olive. Yeah, Olive Films release. Regularly $30. I'd probably still buy this at $30 because it is so... like I said, I'd never, ever, ever see this. Heck, it doesn't even come up on my Amazon feed. But this is a Sion Sono film that played at TIFF, and I have not seen it yet, I don't think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I haven't seen it yet. It's one of the films I have not seen, and that is Himizu. So, yeah, thankfully I got 40% off that, so that was a no-brainer. Then the next one's $24.99. This is an import, and now I don't normally get the imports, but this is a region-free from Australia. I don't know if this has a North American release or not, but I had to get it. This is essentially, honestly, this is awesome. I'll give credit to this HMV. This is not the only copy of this film that they had. They had probably about 5 or 6 of them, all with these stickers on them. Regularly $24.99 from Australia, Razorback. And look at the stickers they've put on there. Because clearly, not North American. But yeah, Aussie version of Jaws from director of Highlander, region-free Aussie import. And yet they had tons of, compared to other stuff, they had a bunch of these copies. I was surprised, especially at 40% off. Yeah, film I actually don't think I've seen yet. So I'm so stoked to get that. So, yeah, there you go. Will there be more? I don't know. More great buys in March, thanks to, boom, HMV. That's right. Hit up yet another HMV I had not hit up before. This one, unfortunately, clearly had a lot of stock from some of the other stores that had closed down put into it. And I will say this, I was the kind of lazy here. All the other stores I've been into had all of their movies, if they weren't, the 2 for $25s or something, just the regular movies were all cataloged alphabetically with name cards for each and every one. And they obviously kept on top of that because, they would change them out. Probably better than they normally do, honestly. That's one of the problems I always had with HMV. They may say they have a title in stock, you go there, it's not even there. So, yeah. This place had things done alphabetically, but all they had as markers were letter cards. So this is the A section, this is the B section. And even then, they had, here's your Blu-ray section. Oh, but there's more Blu-rays over here. Oh, but there's more Blu-rays over here. Oh, but there's more Blu-rays over here. Here's your TV on DVD and your TV on Blu-ray. Oh, but there's more over here and more over there. Clearly, whenever, new stock came in, they didn't bother fixing their old, setup. They just put it into whatever empty shelf was available, which made everything all over the place, and really made it difficult to find much of anything in an orderly manner, which meant I had to go seriously looking. To top that off, they were only at 40% off, but when it's 40% off, that's when I go, you know what, if I find titles that I want, now's the time to pick them up because they won't be there come, 50% off by the time I get back in there, if I get back in there. So pick them up now, and, short of them being uber expensive, it's worth it at 40% off. So the first few titles I picked up because they were all stuff I had seen at the Toronto After Dark Film Festival, and I do want to have all of those films in my collection. It's part of those, memories and stuff, and I'm missing a lot of them. And there are a few that have never been released anywhere to any market. And a lot of them have not had North American releases. So, yeah. You take what you can get, really. But first up, I saw this and I was like, $15 normally. I'd probably pay this, but 40% off made it $90, and that's The Drownsman. This one I would not pay this full. This is full price, regular price, $22.99. I would not pay that, but I guess $22.99 becomes 23, which ends up being about under $14. Still a little pricey, but because I want to get it, and I don't know that I will see this come down, especially not with the slipcover. You never know. You might. Hard to tell, but in a Valley of Violence, one of those things where you really gotta know that it's a comedy before you watch it to really enjoy it. At 2 for $20, which, you know, I think I've said it before, as 2 for $10, so $5 is, with slipcover, amazingly enough, a film that I'm happy to pay this. I mean, $5. Gridlocked. I actually have a buddy who edited that film. And then this one here was $15. And honestly, I have not seen it out in the wild before, which is odd, considering it's a major release, stars Johnny Depp. It's The Ninth Gate. I don't know why I've never seen it out there in the wild, but I haven't. So yeah, had to pick that one up. This one I picked up simply because it's a Raven Banner release. Regularly $17. I wouldn't pay that normally. It would have to be roughly about $10 for me to really want to grab this title. So at $17 it ends up being just over $10, which makes it okay. And it has Catherine Isabel and Christopher Lloyd. So yeah, why not? And that's $88. It's a Raven Banner release. Had to get it. In the 2 for $30 camp, I kind of just picked it up because I don't have it yet, and 2 for $30 ends up being 2 for $15, so it's under $10. It's Dracula. Now, of course, I'd rather have it with all the slips and all that kind of stuff, but whatever. Beggars can't be choosers, right? And then another $15 title. I don't know if I saw this as part of a rave, like a Toronto After Dark thing or not, but I keep seeing it on shelves, so I figured, you know what, I'm going to pick this up. I hadn't seen it, I'd seen it at 1HMV previously when I think it was at 30%, so I figured, 40% off, it's in my wheelhouse, makes it under 10, Detention. This one I wasn't sure if I was going to pick it up, but I wanted to get it since it came out. It's not quite at the price point I want it to be at, but again, hadn't seen it, didn't know if it was going to make it to 50%, so I picked it up. Normally $20, ends up over $10, but it's Cub. Again, essentially the same price. This one is same deal. Over the $10, I probably want it at $10 or lower, but I have not seen it at any of the stores short of when the news of going out of business first came about. So I had to grab this because it was the only copy they had. Again, this is an Anchor Bay Raven Banner release. We Are Still Here. And then something I think I may have picked up from something else, but I mean at this price I had to grab it. Normally $15. We've already gone over this. The Incredible Melting Man. This is a Scream Factory release. Another Scream Factory release. Again, $15. This one had the slip cover, so I wasn't going to pass it up. It's Over Your Dead Body. I believe this is some, Mickey goodness. And then this one honestly, I have not seen it at any of the stores, which is odd. I figured there would have been copies of this. I see all the remake, lots of the remake, but none of this. So I figured, you know what, at this price, I'm going to grab it. I want it in my collection, and that's Piranha. Yes, the classic Roger Corman film. Now, this is one of the pricier ones, but it's one that I'm willing to spend the extra money on because, well, I don't know that's going to come down. So at $15, I was perfectly willing to get the Blu-ray of An Adventure in Space and Time, a Doctor Who documentary of sorts, I believe. So yeah. And then finally, this was priced regularly $30. $30. Not going to spend $30 on this movie. and it is something that I would want to add to my collection normally. It is a lot of fun. It is something that I grew up with. But if this didn't have the slipcover, I probably wouldn't have paid this much. I think it ends up being about $18 when you put in the discount, but this is with slipcover, factory sealed. From Scream Factory, we've got the Garbage Pail Kids. Yes. Yes, love the Garbage Pail Kids. Love them, love them, love them. It's just good fun. So yeah, couldn't pass that up, but that is the only... I actually have never seen that one in the wild, period. So there you go. Some more March pickups from HMV. This time at 40% off. And hopefully you might get some 50% offs before the end of the month. Fingers crossed, getting there. But yeah, we'll find out in a second.